Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're taking a look at the Kilkerran 8-year-old bourbon, Cask strength. This is the November of 2022 bottling, so this one comes in at 55.8% ABV. Dustin, more Kilkerran, my friend.
Yeah, maybe I'm a masochist, Mike. I don't know. I will say this, guys. I know the first comment I'm going to see on this video after maybe one of our regulars says thanks for the review, guys, is going to be, have you tried the new sherry? And the answer to that one, Mike, is there is no world in which I will buy another Kilkerran 8-year-old sherry. So if you guys want to send us a sample of that, we'll review it.
If someone tells us it's that good, we'll try it. But if not...
No, I'm not buying it. Somebody's going to have to send it to me and tell me it's good.
We're not going to be happy. All right, so we were a fan of the last bourbon one we had, Dustin.
Yeah, we did one of the older ones in the skinny bottle. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they're getting better, but...
Yeah, so all ex-bourbon, Kilkerran, 8-year-old, and I see an age statement on it. Mm-hmm. We see 8s and 15s a lot with this, or nothing.
8, 12, and 16 are the standard. We got lucky and were able to get a hold of, Mike, the 15 you're talking about. 120 bottles came to the U.S. total.
That was a good one.
4 of them were purchased by me.
That was a good one. We were off to a good start. We're off and running with Kilkerran back then.
Yeah, that was a great introduction.
All right, I'm getting fresh banana and vanilla.
I get heavy, earthy barley notes initially when I get into it, which is nothing like the last 8 we had, which was beautiful bourbon vanilla notes.
There's some vanilla here for sure.
It's here after that husk of barley that screams, I'm not very old, and I am very, very young.
Yeah, there's a barley note to it. But again, I like barley notes in whiskey.
I don't mind them. I'm just coming to, this is coming off as a very clean, earthy, youthful whiskey. And you're right, there is a hint of a sour banana. Yeah.
I said vanilla banana, but yeah, there's a twinge of sour to it as well. Not in a bad way.
Well, the vanilla's coming from the bourbon. The banana, I think that's where the sour's coming from.
I'll tell you what.
Which is just, it's youth.
Yeah, there's not a ton else going on with this. Or in those 4 things.
It's fairly rich. Has a lot of notes coming here. We're at, 55.8? It's definitely not coming off too proofy on the nose, but it's rich and intense.
Yes, there is no really alcohol in the nose whatsoever.
Like if you were to shake this bottle up and then pour it in your glass, kind of like some of these guys do by just kind of swirling really aggressively in their glass, you'd probably get hit with a pretty pungent whack of alcohol. But
I don't know how much you need to swirl something that's high of an ABV.
Well, you really shouldn't. I mean, that's the whole thing. Is right. Like Ralphie's like, no shaky, because what that does is it agitates the alcohol notes in the whiskey and it hits your nose harder. This one, I think if you did that, it would be unpleasant, whereas some whiskeys are kind of light and you need to do that to get the notes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this one's just a little bit ho-hum, much like the color. The flavors are fairly light. I mean, again, I get the corn husk. Yeah, I get the corn husk. I get the vanilla. A twinge of light oak. There's no char to it or anything else like that.
Yep. And the palate, Mike? I'll say this. The mouthfeel, the richness and the intensity of flavor here is excellent. 90 plus whiskey level. The flavors are just what we kind of noted. Earthy. Barley husk. Vanilla. There is nothing special at all going on here. The last 8 we had was very nice vanilla. It was very sophisticated and mature. It made me think maybe that one was actually a 10 or 12-year-old whiskey masquerading as an 8, because this drinks like I would expect an 8-year-old whiskey to do. It's aggressive in a way that's not enjoyable, but it's not unpleasant.
Agreed. Not really nothing unpleasant. To add to the notes that you had already mentioned, there's some spices here. A little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of red rain, red hots.
I mean, there's heat. I don't even know if I'm getting cinnamon. It's just more...
Twinge alcohol?
Yeah, it's just maybe some alcohol burn.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing really off-putting, but I just feel like the spirits are actually pretty solid in this particular offering, but the cask just didn't do anything for this whiskey.
The spirit's a little ho-hum, but if you're into
now you could dress this up, man.
Oh, you could definitely dress it up, but what I'm getting at is so if you, for example, are a fan of Brooklotti. Like they're like classic, like unpeated, just kind of like the sort of the farm age stuff they do. This is not as good as those are, but it's in that range. It's a comparable whiskey in some ways.
Even Knockmore's like 10.1 and 11.1, like those first ones, those Scottish barley ones. It's sort of similar.
Ignore the peat, the 200 ppm.
Correct.
Whereas this is like 5.
True. But no, it means it's just very similar. Where kind of the cask and everything gets out of the way. I mean, it's about the barley.
Yeah.
It's about a little bit of vanilla. It's about not so much what the cask did. It's
for that aspect, I actually really appreciated this because this gives me a really good idea of what young Kilkerran malt is doing. They definitely seem to have pushed up the spice and earthiness in this one versus that old one, and they've done the same with their 12s. I'm thinking again they're maybe using more recharred or reused casks, and they're maybe in the past maybe they had a little extra whiskey to top dress, just a hint, and they're not doing it at all now.
I mean, maybe now a little bit of citrus lime.
I was going to say there's a little bit of citrus fruit coming through. I was not even sure. Lime's a stretch. I mean, it's like if you had something called citrus water. And that's what this is, like a drop of citrus.
A little light. All right, so where's your as far as whiskey score on this one? I'll go first. I think it's a very solid whiskey.
Yeah.
I really don't think it did anything that well. Not really memorable. If someone offers it to me, it's the only thing here. I'll drink it. Sure, it's good ABV.
Yeah.
It has pretty good mouthfeel. It's not an exciting whiskey. I'm at 85 out of 100.
I'm going to give this the same score I gave the Peat and Progress, an 83. I think this is
I think it's a better whiskey, but I enjoy the Peat and Progress better.
I think this is a more refined whiskey, yeah. Like it's a little bit better put together. But the Peat and Progress had excitement. I mean, the use of the little bit of sherry, a little bit of bourbon.
You're not going to be you're not going to hate this whiskey, but you're not going to be.
No. I mean, it's a perfectly fine whiskey. I mean, for me, again, anything over an 80 or over, it's perfectly fine, drinkable. I enjoy it. 83 is like, hey, look, this has actually got a couple things going for it that are pretty solid. The mouthfeel, the intensity of flavor. But I'm just sort of sitting here going, guys, can you please you need more age on these. You need to do something. Whatever you did on that first 8, maybe they need to use better casks, more first filled, just something to give this a little bit more oomph, because this isn't a fruity malt. No. This is an earthy malt. Earthy malts need kind of more like.
Need help.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, cause it's not a super interesting earthy malt. It's a well done, simple malt, and it needs something to play with it.
Those are our thoughts on the whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Maybe don't buy more Kilkerran drinking.
See you then.